series I'm so excited for tonight, episode number 134. And tonight, we're going to kick it off with the genius of the week. This young lady has been a scientist for quite some time, and we had the pleasure of actually meeting her when we were down in Tennessee a couple of months ago, and just fell in love with her and her husband, Corey. They're some of the greatest people on earth. And she's a little bit nervous, but she did really well on Friday Weekly Updates this past week, and she was trying to hint around what she's going to cover. I'm so excited that Jenna Schute is with us tonight, and she's going to knock your socks off with branding so good they won't want to leave. Jenna, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really excited to be here tonight. So, before I get started, I kind of want to I kind of want to turn up the heat a little bit, and I just want to first, before I dive into it, I want to ask everybody for their permission if it's okay for me to drop some huge master hot tips on branding. So if you want to give me permission, put yes in the chat roll, because I want to see it before I go ahead and move on forward. Okay, they're coming in like crazy. So you guys are ready. Okay, here we go. So imagine this, okay? Like let's put on our thinking caps. Okay, and so wherever you are, wherever you like to be, maybe it's that you like to go to the mall. Okay, you're walking down the mall and you see all these stores, you see all these things, you see people passing you by. Maybe it's that you're at a car show, you see all these cars that you love, all these people passing you by, right? You let's say you're at Disney World, okay, and there's tons of people passing you by. There's so many different things. Okay, there's lots of things coming at you right now. Well, there's some things that might be catching your eye, right? Like maybe somebody walks past you and you're like, hey, I really like your shoes. Hey, okay, thanks, and they keep walking past. Or maybe it's somebody has a funny shirt on and you're like, you kind of laugh at their shirt and say, oh my gosh, your shirt's really cool. Like, I like that. Or where'd you get it? This kind of thing, right? So when they walk past and you liked their shirt, or you laughed at their or you liked their shoes, or you laughed at their shirt, or whatever it may be, just imagine if they came back to you. Like if you happen to, maybe it's like you went to go eat somewhere and they showed up again, or you just kind of came into, you encountered them once more. And what if they said, hey, I've got a party to go to tonight, like, you want to come? And what are your first thoughts? What are your first thoughts? Well, my first thoughts would be okay, this is kind of creepy. All right, I don't know. I don't know what type of party. I don't know who's going to be at the party. I don't know what you're going to, what the party's about, what's going to be there. I need more information from you. I can't just yeah, I'm gonna come to your party. That's not me. Maybe some of you are like that. Maybe if they were to say, hey, there's drinks on us, people are going, but that's not me. Unless you're saying sweet tea and whatever, then that's me. But no. But so if you're like that, where you would be okay, I'm not sure, I don't want to go, I don't feel safe at this party, I don't know what's going on, I want you to take a couple steps back and think about what it is that you are doing when you are inviting people to like your page online. It's kind of the exact same thing. So when those people are on Facebook, they're scrolling, right? And there's all these people, all these things coming at them. And then, they happen to like something of yours. They happen to laugh at something of yours. And as soon as you are invite them, and they see this invitation pop up, and they're like, okay, this is weird. You want to invite me to your page? You want me to like your page, but I don't even know what's going on. They might click on your page, and they might be like, oh, okay. Look, the banner up on top says, live your dreams. Or it's a beautiful picture of a family. Or it's, a beautiful landscaping. Or maybe it's just a picture of you. But that's the thing. They're not, that's all great and stuff, but listen, that is for your personal Facebook. It's not your business page, okay? So just hang with me, because this is something that is really, really important. If you want to get your branding right, this is something that you have to get right. So people have 6 seconds That's it. Like 6 seconds attention span. Like they have to know instantly who you are, what you're about, what am I going to get from this page, right? Just like going to the party. Like, what's the party for? What's going to be there? Do I need to bring anything? What kind of fun am I going to have, right? That's what the people want to know. As soon as they get on your page, they need to know that information. They need to be engaged. It needs to be so good that they don't want to leave, right? And so the way that you can do that is on your profile picture, or not your profile picture, your cover photo. You can use that to your advantage, and you can put all of that information on there. So I'm going to give you guys a couple, I've got some notes over here so I don't miss anything. I'm going to give you guys a couple little tips here that you guys can just write down, and then I'll go ahead and switch it. I'll share my screen and show you kind of what I've done on my business page, just to give you some examples. So first of all, so like I said, they have 6 seconds, right? So that cover page is your real estate on Facebook. It's free, it's yours. So why not use it to your advantage? Show the people who you are, what you're about, what's your tagline, how you're going to help them, what value are you going to bring to them, okay? And then think about your profile picture. Well, if they want to know who you are and what you look like, make sure that your profile picture is straight forward, like you're facing the camera. The cover photo, I was just talking about that, and we'll go into more depth about that. There's an About Me section. There's a lot of times where people will fill that About Me section out, but it's not really about what your vision is, what you want to be known for, what you're trying to truly do for people that are coming to your page. And then also, there's a lot of times where there's, there'll be maybe an ad pinned to the top or something pinned to the top of that whole entire business page, but I never see anything like a welcome video or anything like that. So imagine coming to that party, going back to that party thing. Imagine coming to the party and you knock at the door and nobody comes in, and you kind of just help yourself in the door, and you're just kind of like, like, okay, chips and dip, okay, I'll have some, and then okay, where's the pop? Where's the beer? Where's the, like, that's what we don't want that stuff happening on our business page. So let's do a welcome video showing people around, telling them exactly what they're going to get, like all of this stuff. You have so much to offer, so why not tell the people, right? So I'm going to just jump on the screen share really quick here. If I can share it. Okay. All right. So here's my page, okay? So we are looking over here at the cover photo, or at the profile picture, and it's a picture of me, just straight on. You can see my face, you can see, like, my body figure, you can see a lot about me, about the way that I dress, and then I also have like a pink circle around it, and that is just gonna like catch people's eye. Instead of having just a plain old simple picture, it's got a design around it to kind of just pop a little bit more. Okay, so within 6 seconds, like I said, when they see this right here, this cover photo, they're gonna want to know what my tagline is. Okay, so that top one right there of paving the way from employee to digital entrepreneur is telling you exactly what it is that I'm doing, what I'm trying to do in this big, huge, beautiful, amazing world, right? That's what I'm trying, that's what my drive is, okay? And so while you're on my page, and how I'm gonna help you with paving the way is I have, I consider myself a purpose-driven coach. So I dig down. I want people to live with passion and purpose. I want them to stop settling. Okay, so whatever you can take it and run with it, but purpose-driven coaching, that's what people are going to get on my page. They're going to get to be able to design their thoughts instead of just like keeping them inside and dreaming about things. They're going to actually going to be able to design them and live them out. Okay, and then also thrive in faith. Every single day, I always kind of post a quick little Bible verse, and that's my tribe. And then also success habits. I do lots and lots of go lives about success, getting to that next level. And all of that combined together is exactly how I'm going to show people how I'm going to pave that way from employee to digital entrepreneur for everybody else around. Okay? So I also want you to notice that down here, I have an about me section, and that is filled out. I will not go into detail about that. You guys can definitely visit my page. You're more than welcome. And but you can read on that, and it's just pretty much telling the people like what it is that if you're struggling with this, like, hey, you're in the right spot. Like, come with me. I'll help you out. Like, this is what you're gonna find. Okay, and then just right down here, the first thing, it's pinned to the top. I have a welcome video. I made something very, very special for my tribe, and I laid it all out on there. And it kind of just goes. It's just a little quick overview of the life that I had before this community, before jumping online, and how I jumped online, and the end side of it, my vision, and how I am there to help people. If they're stuck, I used to be there, and I know a way out. So just welcoming people, making them feel like, hey, you know what? Like, this is what I have to offer. This is what I'm ready to give you. This is what I'm ready to share with you. Like, you guys have to get this right in order to have like an awesome, stellar brand. Like, you can't just have up at the top, oh, live your dreams, or just a simple picture, right? And so a lot of you might be also questioning, like, hey, Jenna, like, doesn't that get old with that same picture up at the top, or that cover photo up at the top? Yeah, I get it. You can definitely change the colors around. You can change your the points at the bottom there. The value stakes, or whatever you might call it, the bullets, right? Whatever you want to call it, you can change those around. Maybe it's that you say, well, February would have been hearts and red and Valentine's Day, right? Like, you could have had that type of background. You can do so many different things with your cover photo to kind of keep it spiced up, but you always want to make sure that you are telling people exactly what it is, what your purpose is, what you're trying to help them with, what they're going to get, and why they can feel safe there, why they can feel welcome there. They're going to know exactly where the pop is, where the chips are, where the bathroom is, right? Like, they're going to want to stay there. They're going to want to stay there. So, I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quick because I need to see the chat box again. And I want to know if it's okay if I over deliver a little bit. A little bit. Yes, 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 yes. Do I get any yeses in the chat box? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I will definitely over deliver. I have a huge, it's a 2-page little cheater sheet, I guess. It's all laid out for you guys. It even gives you questions, like prompts, to see what it is, to get you thinking about what your title should be, and all of the value that you should be giving, the bullet points and all of that. It lays it all out. So I'll make sure to give that to everybody in the community. Probably tomorrow I'll drop it in the DGL page. So that's all I got for tonight, and I hope you guys loved it. Be well.
Woo! Will and Paige Douglas, I'm coming right to you. What was your biggest takeaway from Jenna's little bit there?
I love the welcome video idea. I think that's, because I do it a lot. Anyone who likes our post, I go like our page, but they come and they just have really, maybe no idea what they're coming to see. So the fact that, create that welcome video, show them around a bit, I think that's an awesome idea. So I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I know Will and I have been wanting to brand ourselves for a long time, and we constantly revisit it and kind of wander away from it and revisit it. So this kind of actually just gave me motivation to get back on that train. I was actually just looking at our cover photo, and I was like, how do I change this and make this look cool? Like, how I was listening, as I was listening to you talk. So really awesome information, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really cool. Like, if you've ever joined one of those professional groups out there, one of the other things they do, and this might be something you could even put into your video, is they line out each day what they post. So it's like Monday, motivation. Tuesday, we're going to do a go live about this. Wednesday, we're doing, and it's every week. And so, like, if you're in the group and posting and stuff, you can do the same thing for your page. Like, hey, this is what my page is about. This is what I post about all the time. So if this interests you, like, come like my page. I think it's awesome. So, Jenna, I think you knocked it out of the park. Guys, you thought that was fire, right? Fire in the chat. Roll! What's up? All right. We are moving right along to the next number one young lady. She's known as a unicorn, right? Horns up, bow down to this young lady because she's been one of our super affiliates for a long time. And Erin Markowski's in the house. She's in Hawaii right now, about to go to Mexico tomorrow. But Erin's going to come out and talk a little bit about meddling with meditation. And I think that's a powerful topic for everybody that doesn't meditate. So Erin, love having you here. How you doing, girl? Take it away.
What's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. In Hawaii, going to Mexico tomorrow. Super, super excited. And I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about meditation. Really quick, I want to say that Jenna just killed it. It's like, I can't believe it's your first time on Trainer Die either. Like, my first time on Trainer Die, I think I stumbled over my words a million times and like messed up. I was so nervous. You just killed it. I want to talk about meditation because actually through being here, I've learned that there's actually about 3 different common types of meditation that at least I've heard there could be more, but I wanted to go over each one of them because I'm realizing now that like what I had planned to kind of preach to you guys was kind of how I meditate and just, I guess, the mindset behind it and stuff like that. And I'm realizing that that just doesn't work for everybody. So I think it's really important to not just meditate one time with, you know, whatever app someone told you to do, whatever YouTube clip someone told you to listen to, or whatever technique someone told you to use. And then all of a sudden it didn't work for you, or you were just, I don't know, like chatting in your head a bunch and you didn't actually like get into a meditation. You're just like, oh, it just doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like I want to kind of break that down because I feel like that's an experience that a lot of people have. I feel like a lot of people try to meditate and like they just haven't pushed and like tested all, I guess, like the different ways to see what works best for them. So it's really about kind of figuring out what kind of person that you are and then catering your meditation. We're going to get into a little bit of visualization as well, catering it to you and kind of how you operate. So I am going to list off the 3 that I have noticed. I would love to hear if anybody has any insight or any other kind of like themes of meditation that you guys have noticed as well. But the 3 that I've noticed, come up really commonly is silent meditation, where like you don't have any guided meditation, anybody talking to you. There's no like dongs going off or like, I don't know, like any like bells or anything ringing. Like it's nothing. It's just you and like wherever you are, you know what I mean? You could be in your bed, you could be sitting on your floor, like you could be wherever and it's just you. There's guided meditation. Obviously, if you have like Headspace or just a million other apps out there. If you go on YouTube, they do guided meditations, there's that as well. And then there's the visualization meditation where you kind of have like a intention to your meditation almost, and you're almost using affirmations and visualizations to like manifest something essentially. So if I sound like some hippy dippy crackhead right now, I promise I'm going to bring it all full circle. But I wanted to go over the first one, which is silent meditation, mainly because that's what I do. That's how I operate the best. That's how I get into the deepest meditation. And I want to go over a couple different tips with it because there's things that I've noticed. So like, at least for me personally, when I first started the business, I had to start with the guided meditation because I had no idea what I was doing. So hearing somebody else kind of talk to me and just be like, okay, do this now, or do this now, or you know what I mean? Just walking me through the process, it helped a lot. For me personally, I recommend Headspace a ton because that's what I used whenever I was first getting into meditation. But I don't resonate with it anymore just because I am so much more of a silent meditation type person. Like if someone is trying to get me to visualize, like if anybody listens to Headspace, it kind of talks about filling your body with light and like imagining you have this white light above your head or something like that. And it's like all this thinking almost. And I don't want to think whenever I meditate. So some people need that guidance. They need to almost see something or follow some kind of, just I guess like rules and steps to take and stuff like that. And I was at that point and I'm no longer there. So if you're finding yourself getting distracted by guided meditations, by people telling you like, do this now and like breathe this way now and imagine this now, like if you find yourself almost like getting off track and thinking about other stuff, then maybe that's not for you. You know what I mean? That was a clear sign for me that guided meditation, I'd kind of grown out of that. So I want you to kind of know, and I know this is all over the place right now, so I hope you guys are taking notes, but I kind of want to just grab different pieces from each one and just give tips on each one. So you can kind of almost diagnose where you're at with it and then decide what the best route for you is right now. So with guided meditation, you can do YouTube, you can do Headspace, like I said, and I think it's really good for beginners, but just pay attention to what I was talking about earlier. If you do see your head kind of like going off all over the place, like maybe it needs to be different. So like when I realized that Headspace just wasn't clicking for me anymore, what I started doing was I was going to yoga classes that have meditation at the end of them. And I know I was just with Raquel in Sydney. I know she's on here. So shout out to Raquel, but she told me that she only goes to yoga classes that have meditation at the end of them. And it was because you kind of already are in that flow state. You know what I mean? Like you've already gone through like 45 minutes, like an hour, and you're in the same room as people with the same energy. Like it's just a different vibe than like just, you know, maybe getting out of bed, like eating some breakfast or something and then plopping down. Like it's almost like random parts of your day if you're doing that. So like setting yourself up almost for meditation and kind of like maybe doing a little bit of yoga. You don't even have to go to a class. You could do something on YouTube. If you're not into yoga, then ignore this. But like if you're into yoga or open to yoga, then like it might be good to even do 5-10 minutes of just some stretches. Like even just stretch. You don't even have to do full-blown yoga, but like just getting your body moving and kind of like easing into the state of mind that you need to be in to be able to meditate with a clear mind, I think is really beneficial. So for me, we even did a yoga class here. Like Jess is a yoga instructor, and she walked us through a yoga class and she had us in a meditation, and I finally was like just clear-minded, and it was awesome. And that's what I need. I just need like a little bit of talking and then nothing, so I can just like be like just silent. I need like silence in my brain, because any other time that I'm like not meditating, it's just like like there's ideas, there's like things I gotta do, there's people I gotta talk to. It's like nonstop. So it's so important and so good to stop every once in a while, especially as business owners. And coming, you know, speaking from a place of knowing what it's like as you progress as a business owner and as you progress in your business, it just gets more and more crowded up here. Like there's just more and more things going on in your brain. There's more and more things. Oh, I forgot to say this to this person. I forgot to do this today. And meditation like is almost necessary to keep your sanity. So that's why it's important. But if you're going to do silent meditation, again, I think it's really good to also, you know, stretch and kind of like coax yourself into that mindset. I feel like that's good for any type of meditation. It doesn't even have to be a specific type of meditation. Like any meditation in general kind of, you know, I feel like almost requires that like pre-meditation, like, I don't know, just get yourself into it. Obviously, I've said that like a million times. So the last one that I'm going to talk about is going to be the visualization meditation. And I think this is good to like do additional to. So you don't have to be like, oh, like I only do silent meditations and I don't do anything else. Like I feel like if you're like a silent or a guided person, I feel like that's almost a one or another type thing. But visualization, I feel like is almost like separate. You know what I mean? It's like silent and guided, you could pick one or the other, but visualization is like its own thing. And I think it could be used really well no matter what kind of person you are over here. Like visualization, I think is important no matter what. So if you meditate multiple times a day, you know what I mean? Like maybe for me, whenever I'm on my grind and I'm really doing it and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like on top of everything, I meditate generally like 2 to 3 times a day. So I'll meditate whenever I get up in the morning, whenever I feel myself starting to like lose steam and like lose gas throughout the day, I'll just stop everything I'm doing and I'll just sit down and meditate again. Like that's where I need to stop and pause and kind of like clear my brain out so I can come back to it with a clear head. And then at the end of the day, I didn't wind down, because I've noticed, like, especially we all know with blue light, like you can't just be on your phone and your laptop and then just jump into bed and lay down. Like your brain is still just like going so like a million miles an hour. So like you need to wind that down in some way, shape, or form. What I like to do is I like to do visualization in the morning, and then at night do the silent one, so that it kind of brings me down into more of like a sleep mode, I guess, so that I can actually just sleep like better. My mind is clear. But visualization in the morning I think is really good, because you have a fresh brain. Like you're kind of almost, you can visualize the day. I know Brendon Burchard talks a lot about visualizing the things that he wants to get done that day. So he'll pick 3 things that he wants to accomplish that day, and then he sits down for like 20 minutes and visualizes them getting done. So he already sees those things happening and getting done, and then it makes it that much easier to actually achieve it, because he's already kind of experienced it, which is what we use for visualization in the first place. So like if you have a goal, what I used to do, I wrote this on my whiteboard, but what I used to do is I would sit in front of my whiteboard and I would like just close my eyes, I would start meditating, and I would start repeating affirmations in my head, and I'd be like, I am 1A, I am 2A, I am 3A, I am 4A, I am 5A, I am 6A, and I would just go down the line, and I continued to do that. I would say I am 1A, even though I was obviously already 1A. It wasn't an affirmation that like didn't exist yet. It was like, I am 1A, that's a truth that I'm telling to myself. And then I would say I am 2A, and be like, okay, I'm not 2A yet, but like I'm carrying over that truthful, you know what I mean? That truthful mindset behind the affirmation and bringing it into I am 2A, I am 3A, I am 4A. And then I hit 2A, and then I hit 3A, and then I hit 4A, and 5A, and 6A. And I continued saying those same affirmations, because it was like, I said this at a point in time where it was just an affirmation. Bless you, Chris. But I was saying it at a point in time where it was just an affirmation. Like it was just an affirmation that I was trying to attract into my life, but now it's real. and like this is me now experiencing something that was at one point in time not true, but I was affirming it into my life. I knew that it was going to happen. I knew I was going to experience it. I just hadn't experienced it yet. And I think that's super important. A lot of people will like be like, okay, I am 2A, I am 2A. Cool, got it. I just hit 2A. All right, I am 3A, I am 3A, I am 3A. And like you can't forget where you came from, because then you're always shooting for the next thing. You're always like, no, I need more, instead of being like, I'm 2A. Like, I'm 2A, I did it, like I accomplished it. And I think it's really, really important to do that. So obviously I'm just using ranks as an example. I can't talk. But it's really important to figure out, what's important to you. Like for me, I had a lot of trouble with consistency. I had a lot of trouble with, I guess, just confidence, not affirmations, we're talking about affirmations. But I think confidence and consistency, I would say, were like my main two that I would always affirm to myself, because I started this business so introverted, so not on the schedule, like it was like rough. So I would always say like, I'm confident, I'm extroverted, like I, love getting on camera, I love taking videos, even though I did not love that at the time. Like I would just affirm things that I wanted to feel, but I didn't yet. And I really just wanted to kind of almost step into that persona and step into the person that felt those things. I'm actually going through my funnel hacking live notes right now and organizing them all. But that was actually something that I just read this morning, was not doing, hold on, actually I want to pull it out and then I'll be done and stop talking all your ear off. But I think it's really important. But it was assuming the identity. So almost making an identity shift. And I think affirmations and visualizations help us assume that identity shift. So what it says and what I wrote down is, you don't do the tasks to become the person. You become the person and assume the identity so that you do the tasks that that person would do. And I knew that the identity that I had to assume was 4A, 5A, 6A, 6A2, you know what I mean? I had to become that person so I could lead, so I could help people, so I could transform people's lives. I knew that I had to love getting on camera, because then I could share my message with more people. I could give emotion behind it. I knew I had to become extroverted and confident so that I could lead by example. I knew that I had to do all of these things so that I could become the person that could change other people's lives. And that was what I had to do. You know what I mean? That was important to me. And that is what I did through visualization. You know what I mean? That is what I did through meditation. And I think it's really, really, really important to almost, you know what I mean? Assume that identity. It's not imposter syndrome. It's not pretending to be someone you're not. It's transforming to the better version of yourself, transforming and going up the ladder to better versions of yourself. And I believe that you really can get there through meditation, through visualization. And that's all I got. I'm going to stop talking all your ear off. So thanks for coming out, guys.
Erin, I love it. Always bringing high energy. But one thing I wrote down was write a list, then see yourself do it, then actually do it. I thought that was pretty cool. Diana, what was one takeaway that you got from what Erin was just saying?
There's lots of different ways to meditate, and if you try one way and it doesn't work for you, try another way. And what Erin touched, she touched on some great ones, but she's just scratching the surface. There's so many more. There's ones that are movement based. That one I personally love is dancing. You can get into a meditative state that way, and it just helps free your mind and just helps things flow much better. But awesome job, Erin, as always.
yes, awesome job. Type fire in the chat if you haven't already for Erin. Show her some love. And guys, the next section is about framework. And I think this is a shout out to all the ladies. When your man's acting a fool, saying stuff that ain't cool, right? And you're all mad, and your response is like, you know what? It's no. It's not what you said. It's how you said it. And how you say stuff matters. How you frame stuff matters for your prospect, for your, the experience of them coming on. So this next golden belt speaker, you know him, you love him. He's standing 6'2" tall. He's about to bring some framework wisdom for us all. Please, digital geniuses, enter the Malone zone with me.
Yes, dude, I love the intro. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys, I got to ask a couple of questions as we're getting into this segment because I'm really excited to share this. I've been working on this and refining it for you, so I hope I don't screw it up, but if I do, who cares? We're going to keep on keeping on. So here's the thing. I want to know if there's anybody that's building, like, value videos, but then having a heck of a hard time transitioning into building a conversion ad. If that's you, write yes in the chat roll right now. Because I know that when I've been working with a lot of people and they're building a lot of value and they're building all this content and it's excellent, but then when it comes time to like pivot or turn the corner, they don't really know how to do it. And so tonight I want to share 2 different frameworks that you can use every time. And one of them is based on the psychology of brain chemicals. Okay, really important. The other one is based purely in persuasion. Okay, so can I get a promise from everybody in the chat roll that you promise? I promise to use this for good and never for evil. Right? Yes in the chat roll if you promise to use it for good and never for evil, because this stuff is really powerful. Okay, Raquel Pinky promise. I'm gonna hold you to that, girl. All right, check this out, guys. There are 4 chemical brains. Now I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna share my screen. There's 4 chemicals in the brain that if you activate them in the right order every single time, you will almost guarantee yourself results. And I think this is powerful. Okay, so I want you to write the words, if you're taking notes on a page going up and down, write the word dose, D-O-S-N-E, okay? So those are going to be kind of the frameworks. I'm going to share a screen just for a sec. I'm going to show one slide so you can see it, all right? So you can take a quick snapshot of this. We're going to go through each one. So dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And then this is the layman way of breaking down what those things actually are in your brain. So just take a quick snapshot of that if you haven't written it. That's really important. But again, it's dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. So I'm going to stop my screen share and keep talking for a second. Then we'll go to the next one. All right. What does this mean? Okay, so if you're there and you're like, okay, I'm building all this content, I'm doing all this stuff, like how do I transition somebody into the next move? Well, first of all, you've probably already done the first 2 steps. Now, we said dopamine and oxytocin, right? So what is dopamine? It's a distraction. So who gets excited when their cell phone goes ding? You want to look at it real quick, right? Most people are like, oh my God, that's awesome. Or how about this one? When you get a new lead or a new buyer, like that hit is a dopamine hit. Okay, so that's what that means. When you have a hit of dopamine, it's like a distraction and it's exciting, and that's the kind of feeling that you get. So in your value videos, the first thing you got to think about is how do you distract people? How do you grab them, right? So if you have them on your list and you drop something in there that's like, boom, it gets them real hard, that's why we say, don't say, hey, my name's Sean and this video is going to be about this. That sucks, right? Instead, find yourself falling into a river and be like, hey guys, what's up? You know, like I'm Sean, you know, like that's the kind of thing, like, because then people are going to be like, whoa, what's this guy all about? That's that dopamine hit that hits you and it distracts everything else around you. That's that 6 seconds that Jenna was talking about. Really important, okay? So your value videos should have a little bit of a distraction in them. The next one's oxytocin, which is the connection chemical in the brain. So how do we use the connection chemical in the brain? We got to get on their level, right? You guys are all master marketers. What that means is you're more advanced than the average normal layman person. So how do you do that? You got to dumb yourself down to a 3rd grade level and tell a story that they can connect with. That's why we always talk about storytelling. That's why you see Cheyenne coming out talking about storytelling all the time. So when you get an oxytocin hit, it's like, this is what it sounds like when it's getting hit on you. It's like, oh, like that's my people. Oh my gosh. Here's a great example. Last night I was talking with Will and Paige, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, and I was saying, you know, Will, because I've been observing you guys for the past couple of years, I feel like you're not the guys that want the Lamborghini, but you're the guys who want the Rolls Royce or the Bentley, and you can throw your family in there, right? And Will's like, oh my God, like you hit me, you got me, that's it. I connect with you, right? That's oxytocin. That's activated in Will's brain right when I said that, okay? So connecting on a story where somebody can relate to you, that's how you create the connection. Now, if you're doing a 1-2 punch with your advertising, so say you're doing a value video to a conversion video. Now, I believe personally, after doing a bunch of research, Facebook is there. That's the place that we're at right now. So we always talk about this 3x3 strategy. I think it's too confusing. What I think is important to think about and something for you guys to test, to build one ad that has dopamine, a distraction, and then a simple connection story. So if you put those 2 pieces in your first value piece, right? Now all you got to do is get the other 2 chemicals in the brain firing. So the next ones after the connection, and I'm going to put this all together at the end. Serotonin is a sense of status. What does that mean? I'm a ClickFunnels funnel hacker. I love ClickFunnels. I love Russell Brunson. I'm a proponent of them. He identifies or gives me a sense of status by saying, hey, you're a funnel hacker. Come join the tribe and be one of us. You have the ability to say that about becoming a digital genius. Like, hey, you're a normal person, you're out there, you're working your job and whatever else. Look, I found this community where there's all these digital geniuses, and the power of being a digital genius is wicked. I know that you know that I can teach you how to use social media paid advertising to become a digital genius and write your ticket for the rest of time. All of a sudden, people are like, I want that. I want that sense of status. I want that serotonin blast. And so that's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of what it sounds like, which then leads into an endorphin, right? Endorphins, think about going to the gym, right? And so when you go to the gym, you hate working out. I hate working out. Everyone usually hates working out, doing the actual like pumping of the muscles and the exercises. But when you get done, how do you feel? Like a bajillion bucks, right? That's endorphins running through your body. So in our world, what does it sound like in the digital marketing world? Well, it is all about a step-by-step formula for small successes and rewarding yourself. So how do you use it in your ad, okay? So I said, you're going to build a value video with dopamine and oxytocin. So you distract the hell out of them, and then you connect with them with a cool personal story that adds some value into their life. Then you build a conversion ad that says, hey guys, you remember my story over there? Oh yeah, that's cool, right? So there's the distraction, you remind them of the connection that you have with them, and you dive into this thing saying, well listen, the reason you're seeing this is because I'm an expert marketer. I retargeted you. That's a term that's really fancy. I'm gonna show you how to do it. But when you come and learn how to do that, you're gonna become a certified digital genius. You want that, right? Okay, now that's a sense of status. You're inviting them to come be one. That's how you give them that sense of status to change from where they're at to what they want to do. And then you say, look, a lot of people say it's going to be hard or this or that or the next thing. We have a step-by-step guide. And the cool part is when you get through these things, we celebrate. We win with you. So it's kind of like when you go to the gym. You go and you work out and you hit your weight goals. You feel really good. Same thing over here. You can go through the step-by-step training, get to the end, and boom, you feel really good. Click my link below. Go check out a free video. Come join me. Boom, that's it. It's the 1-2 punch, and there's the framework. You've hit the 4 connection chemical points from the brain: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. In that order, and the order is not from me. The order was proven by the American Psychological Institute, and Brian Tracy did like a huge write-up of how these chemicals in your brain actually do that, and when you trigger them in that order, you'll create results. Okay, so that was valuable. Was that valuable? Right? Yes, in the chat roll. I got one more thing I want to share with you guys because I think that was really cool. The second thing I'm going to share with you is a different framework. This one is a persuasion-based framework. It's typically for stories. Russell Brunson hit it really hard when he was talking about it. And so let me share you the slide so you can take another picture. Here's the slide I want to talk about now, okay? So there's 5 parts to actually persuade somebody. And you can use these 5 parts individually, in combination, or however you want to use them. Like for me, sometimes I'll do my value video as the first 3 of these, and then I'll do a conversion about confirming suspicions and throwing rocks at enemies. Or I'll do some combination thereof. Maybe I'll do like a encouraging dreams, and then I talk about failures that I've had, and then I talk about, hey, like I had a whole bunch of fears, and then it's like, I knew it was going to be this, and that confirmed my own suspicion. Like you can do them individually, or you can do them any which way you want to do them. I just want to share. So take a picture of that, write that down. We're going to go through all these 5 really quick. I'm going to do a little bit quicker. So, and then I'm going to bring it full circle for everybody. So encouraging people's dreams is really the first part of it, right? And what does an encouragement of a dream sound like? It's the imagine if you were this, or imagine being here, or what if life was like this? I remember personally when I first built one of my biggest ads that we ever put together was I started my video as, what if every day was a Saturday? What would you do? Right? That was the start of my video. That was the distraction. And I was walking around and I said, well, listen, we actually have the ability to make every day a Saturday. Here's a quick video. And I went to a lifestyle video. And then at the end, I came back and I said, hey guys, like if that touches you and you're interested in learning more about that, click the link, watch the video, right? And that for me was the encouraged dreams. And that was just a conversion ad just about encouraging someone's dreams. So that's how you could do it just with one of those blocks, okay? The second block is to justify failures, right? When you come at somebody and you justify their failures, it puts you on the same side of the table so you two are looking at the problem at the same time. And in any sales conversation, anything, anywhere, it's either most salespeople butt heads, like, hey, this thing's better, come over here and jump and do this, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Well, the thing is that, like, nobody's going to believe you, right? They got to find their own way. They got to believe their own system. And so if you can say, listen, I failed a bunch. You've probably failed. Oh, you have? Like maybe you're in Messenger and you're talking to somebody. Like, tell me more about that failure. Oh, I remember this one time that I did this and this is what happened. Immediately when you do that, you've put yourself on the same side of the table, you're looking at the same problem together, that person is going to start to trust you right away, way more, right? So that's the justifying of failures. The next one is allaying fears, or basically what that means is putting fears to rest. And so in our world, what does it sound like? Well, what I would say is you guys should probably go about like this. Like, hey, you can go be a digital marketer, but it's really expensive if you don't have an all-inclusive program. What I mean by that? Well, check this out. If you were to go out on your own and you wanted to build some sort of an online business, here's the softwares you need. You're going to need an autoresponder, so you got to learn how to write emails and copy and do all that other stuff. You're going to need some sort of a presentation software. You're going to need some tracking software. You're going to need some checkout software. And oh, I didn't mention, you're also going to have to learn how to master social media marketing. Now that's hard. That's a lot. That's like crazy amount of stuff for one person to do. And all of a sudden I'm thinking like my fear is like, I'm going to have no time. I have no time. And personally, I don't know if I can do it. Those are the fears. So you pull those out and you say, and it's going to cost you $400 or $500 a month if you do it your own way. But check this out. If there's an all-inclusive, what if there was an all-inclusive program where you could simply just plug in and you didn't have to pay for that software and you didn't have to learn how to do that until you were ready to do that? Click the link, go watch the video. Right? Very simple, very strong, very powerful, okay? So that's allaying fears or putting fears to rest. So identify the fears, knock them down with some sort of personal story. It's a really good thing. Next one's confirm suspicions. Confirming suspicions is this. I thought going online was going to be expensive. Now, in most cases, going online is very expensive, right? That's why I love it when people say, I don't have any money. Okay, really? Well, that's awesome. How's that iPhone watch that you got on your wrist or the smartphone you own, right? That stuff costs over $1,000 easily. So you definitely have some cash, right? It's just what's the value to you? So, but confirming suspicions is another thing where you talk about the fact that like, yes, it can be expensive online, but did you know there's another way? There's a different way, a new opportunity that you can actually go check out for yourself. I'm not going to be the one to tell you or convince you to go do that. I want you to go watch this video. Click the link, go watch the video, okay? And then lastly, everyone does this a lot, and I think this is a very powerful conversion ad style, throwing rocks at enemies, right? What do I throw rocks at? Everyone knows Sean throws rocks at the corporate 9-to-5. I hate the corporate 9-to-5. I will straight up slit my throat before I go back. I think people that go in the corporate life have been brainwashed. I feel that once they've gotten into that life, they settle for a life that's less than par, and they hate it. And see, now you see Jenna's head. She's waving. She's bobbing like this, right? That means she's agreeing with me. Okay, now just in talking about these 5 things in this order, I've already probably put a little bit of persuasion into your life. That's why I say use it for good, never for evil. And you can use this formula over and over and over and over. If you do, maybe there's a 5 value video series that you hit each one of those things and then drop a conversion ad. Or maybe you hit 3 of them and then the last 2 you drop a little, click the link, go watch the video. And if you follow this formula over and over and over, guys, that's what I've done for the last 3 years. That's how we created a revenue of, that's how we sold over $7 million worth of Enagic products. Like, it works. That's what I'm saying. And so with that, my friends, I hope that was helpful for you. I love you to death. And back to you, Chris.
Woo! Type fire in the chat if that was fire, if you got some good stuff out of that. Jenna, you were shaking your head at the end. What was the big takeaway you got?
Yes, I totally agree with Sean there about the whole corporate employees have settled for less and we don't deserve that. So we all owe it to ourselves on that. But anyways, yeah, I guess the first one, the 4 chemicals in the brain, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, that was just kind of mind blowing because it was just like, okay, that would like hook me in. That would get me in. Like that would pulling me closer and closer. And 2 that you can do the first 2 as like a value video and then do a conversion ad instead of having all these value videos because let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to track if you have a bunch of value videos going out and which one's doing best and which one's trying to keep up with the right sequence or whatever you have. But no, I like that 4 chemicals. That one was cool. So thank you so much, Sean.
Well, there you have it. All right, we're moving on to the next Golden Belt speaker. This whole time we've been doing this whole episode, something's been cooking in the kitchen, and it's the Lou Stew. He is going to talk about something tonight with ingredients that look like avoiding burnout. So here's the thing. he just hit 682-2, and I say just within the last few months. You can correct me on the date, but it was somewhat recently, right? And so in doing that, when you max out, when you burn out like that, he's going to also be talking about the pain and the side effects of that. Like you go way up, and then you crash, and then you have to rebuild again. If you could avoid that, and you could have more, like it's never this, right? It's never steady growth. But if you can keep going this direction and manage yourself better and go for a longer period of time, you're going to get bigger, better results. And that's why we get to like get your, what are those like napkin, get your big spoon out because you're about to have some Lou stew. Lou, what you got for us, man?
I love that nickname. Man, that's good. Sean just keeps calling me a China. That's so funny. None of my family's from China. Anyways, guys, can you hear me? Awesome. We're just at the church now. But yeah, today I'm going to be talking about burnout. This is a real thing that I've as something you know, I've been for 5 years now. When you essentially have hundreds of people team, some people get results, some people don't. When you're hustling your ass off to make example, you feel like everything you're responsible for, especially if you people, you can burn out really quick. And so I'm going to show you guys what to do.
Hey, Lou, we're getting some feedback in the chat. It's glitchy, bad connection, can't hear you. We can hear probably like 1 every 3 or 4 words.
Oh man, okay.
Hey, just jump onto your if you got your internet open, go turn off Facebook, because that'll take up a lot of bandwidth. And if you have any other programs or something open like that, go just shut them down real quick if you don't. Are you on your spaceship? Okay. Are you on your spaceship computer?
No, we're on Riz spaceship computer.
Okay.
we're on
hotspot. Yeah, that's better now. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna start over. So, as a lot of you know, I've been over 5 years now. Years offline and almost 3 years online. Crazy how some people think I'm still the offline guy that I've been living on. But I can tell you, burnout is a real thing. It's happened almost every time. Oh, Aaron, can you still hear me? Oh, that's better now. Okay. So burnout has happened literally every time I ranked up. It's also like, and shit happens in your life. And every time something bad or, unfortunate happens in your life, I also burn out is what I noticed. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can avoid that. And especially if you want to take a leadership role in this business, which I hope everyone does, your team is going to grow. Like my team right now, I think it's literally like probably 500 to 1,000. It's insane. And I don't know everyone on my team, but for the people I do know personally, especially if I did their coaching call, in a way I beat myself up about it because I almost take I take responsibility for their success, whether they fail or not. And if you're that type of leader and you care so much about people, it does beat you up. Like who's not like that? Like you care so much about people that it beats you up. Okay? So, and even if you're not, you don't have hundreds of people on your team right now, you might be suffering burnout because you're a busy mom, you're a dad, just really busy and you don't have enough time for things and you're stressed out. So I just came off of burnout. After I hit -2, I was dead, like almost for 3 months because Christmas was a little slower and I talked to Sean a lot. Started doing a lot of research on because it's very related to stuff that Aaron talked about today about meditation and how Sean talked about dopamine and all those brain chemicals and stuff. So hopefully this is gonna. So, anxiety and worry, does anyone suffer from that? Depression once in a while, right? I think everyone kind of goes through those. So I heard this quote, that anxiety is you think about the past too much, okay? And worry is when you're thinking about the future too much. So the key is you gotta be in the now. Like you have to be in the moment, your family, your business. So if you stop thinking about the past, all this, you won't be as worried. And there are certain things that you can do that will help avoid worry, which obviously is related to stress and lead to well. So just remember those things, the past and the future. So always think there's a lot of things that I'm very, very serious about to get my mind and my body right. It's optimum speed. I can actually be 100% have built my business, but when I'm there, it's like I want to be 100%. I don't want to feel like this head. You know what I mean? Okay, so these are some of the things, and you don't have to do all these. Okay, but these are just tips for you. Okay. Number one thing that I done that helped me a lot was I fixed up my diet. Okay, so food sensitivity is a real thing. And when I did a food sensitivity test, I found out I was severely sensitive to gluten, alcohol, dairy, what else? And of course, like most of us aren't supposed to be eating processed sugars, processed foods, and all that stuff, right? When you get rid of all those things I just mentioned, I noticed a huge improvement in my mood and the way I performed and my energy level. And so, whether you have a gluten sensitivity or dairy sensitivity or not, you can get tested. But for sure, you should be avoiding processed foods, processed sugar. Like that's a gimme, right? Energy drinks and Gatorade, all those sugary things, and yeah, and probably energy drinks as well, right? So what I did recently is there's an awesome company out of the U.S. called Everlywell. It was actually on Shark Tank. So if you go to www.everlywell.com, I don't have an affiliate link, but essentially you can order a food sensitivity test for a fraction of the cost of going to, I think, a regular doctor or something like that. I think it was like $159. And if you Google, you can actually find like a coupon code for 15% off or something like that. It was worth it. And that's when I found out I was actually to gluten, dairy, and all that stuff. And I did an elimination diet for like literally a month. And because I feel so much better now, I don't I try to avoid dairy and stuff. Like I don't even try to add it back to my diet. I barely drink anymore. It's just these things aren't good for you. It doesn't put you in an optimum peak state for your mind. Second thing, sleep hygiene. Everyone's deprived of sleep nowadays, right? Yeah, and so it's so important to have proper sleep hygiene. You want to make sure that and everyone's body is different. I think like some people are genetically like predisposed to like needing more sleep than other people, right? There's research on that stuff, but you know your body the best. If you need more sleep, try to get more sleep. If you need less sleep, just and you're at a higher speed, then just sleep what you need to sleep, right? But the key is when I talk about sleep hygiene, you want to sleep before 12 always, and especially like if you can before 10. Like it's so important because like your circadian rhythm it performs the best when you're sleeping around that 10 to 11 p.m. mark, right? Other thing is, help with your sleep hygiene. Just make sure that prepare yourself to be able to wake up the next day and prepare a big glass of common water next to your table because the first thing that's going to wake you up is a pound back a lot of water because you're dehydrated from. Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that wear blue blockers or just don't have what do you call it? Blue light or screens 1 hour before bed usually and 1 hour after you wake up. Right? Because that's going to really mess up your sleep. Another thing that's really going to improve your sleep is, believe it or not, get out, go for walks, get sunshine, especially early in the day. Because vitamin D is not only going to help you with anxiety and worry and depression and all that stuff, but a healthy dose of vitamin D. I think there's like a huge amount of people that actually deficient. Believe it or not, you guys all know I lived in Southeast Asia for like 6 months, and it's like the hottest, sunniest place. I was vitamin D deficient because it was so freaking hot. I never went outside. Isn't that crazy? So now that I'm back in Vancouver, it's not as hot here. I'm getting lots of vitamin D. I'm playing lots of sports, but vitamin D actually helps produce melatonin, which is the brain chemical that helps you sleep. If you get healthy doses of vitamin D, use a healthy dose of melatonin when you're ready for bed. Other thing, build meaningful relationships with people. Have meaningful conversations with the people you love. Have that a part of your life because it helps with coping with burnout. Like I said earlier, exercise and just go for walks, get sunshine, or have hobbies that you truly love, where you can truly love. Read uplifting books, practice gratitude, affirmation, visualization, and then going back to what Aaron talked about for about 2 minutes, meditate. Okay, and last thing, when you hit a huge milestone on your business, don't be complacent. Never forget to first all of these things that I'm saying is all self-love. You got to practice all these things, all self-love. You don't have to do all of it, but all of this is self-care. And a part of self-care is also, when you hit a huge milestone, what are you going to do next? So give yourself time to think about what you're going to do to replant that flag so you have a goal to strive for, right? So hopefully this is helpful, guys. A lot of stuff I could obviously, I could probably talk an hour on, but you don't have to do all those things, but these are at least all the things that I've done to help with burnout. Just to repeat, diet, food sensitivity, sleep hygiene, meaningful relationships, meaningful conversations, exercise, get sunshine, go for walks, hobbies, read uplifting books, practice gratitude, affirmation, visualize. Okay, so you might be thinking, man, this stuff's gonna. It doesn't. You can work it in a morning routine or routine, probably an hour a day. And believe me, if you think oh, by doing this, I won't have my business. Well, you won't even be able to run your business to its full capabilities if you're burnt out. So you're actually going to be more productive if you get your mind and your body peaceful. I promise you that. You might even need less sleep when your body's not fine. This has helped me a lot because I just came up. Hope this.
Whoa, check that out. If only we got 100% of that. Can you imagine? That was only 60, 70% Lou stew. Anyway, thanks so much, Lou. Type fire in the chat if you got some fire. And let's go. We haven't heard from Paige yet. Paige, what was your big takeaway?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I resonated with the whole entire thing, honestly. I've been recently having some food sensitivities and some kind of problems, and without going into a ton of details. And so I'm really working on just trying to take care of myself. And I've started taking a whole bunch of different vitamins, and I've been trying to play around with food to see what my body does and does not like. Big ones to cut out for me right now is our big my nightshade vegetables. So potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers. All of those cause inflammation and lots of problems within the body. So those are some that I've cut out. So, and then just my Kegnan water, I drink 9.5 every day. I have heard this in the past. If you take a shot of 11.5 at bedtime, that helps release melatonin and helps you sleep a little bit better. So if you have trouble sleeping, give that a try. But super, super awesome, guys. Thank you, Brandon. I think all is vitamin D, happy vitamins. I think it's super awesome. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lou. Food affects mood. All right. This is the last golden bell speaker for tonight. And most, maybe even all of us watching tonight are people that want to travel, like to travel, want to go to all places of the world, and even a lot of us are already doing it. Well, this next speaker is someone that, if I remember correctly, is going on the complete other side of the world while still running his business. He's got stylish glasses. He's got a backwards hat. Yeah, he's one of the cool kids at All Digital Geniuses. Please welcome Riz.
Wow, dang, that was a beautiful intro, Chris. Thanks, man. Yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to travel, quit my job quitter 64. Woo-woo! Well, yeah, I got some tips for you guys about building your business on the road. This is definitely new for me. Because, when you're working your day job, you have structure. It's get up at this time, go to work at this time, go home at this time, eat, sleep, repeat, right? So you kind of have to apply the same stuff to your own business and hold yourself accountable, because it's pretty easy to wake up in the morning and really not do nothing. You got no one barking at you or calling you and asking where you are. Okay, so I just have a couple things that I've been doing, try to keep me accountable and staying focused on my business, right? So one thing is I definitely have more time. That's fantastic. Having more time throughout my days to create content, build stuff, huge. But it's using all your time properly, okay? So some of the things I do, so I have a hit list. This is my list of 3 things that I would do every day without fail. And I will set this up the night before so that I know what I'm going to achieve the next day. So that could be, say in the morning, I'll meditate for a little bit. I'll have a nice breakfast. And then I'll do follow-ups. Then I'll follow up with any leads I got over the evening while I was asleep, right? With Brandon, or I'm hanging out with some other people, or I'm going somewhere, go exploring or doing something. I'm creating content the entire time. For example, yesterday I was hanging out with my brother. He just happened to fly into Vancouver and wanted to hang out. So I was walking around filming stuff on a selfie stick. I was that guy walking down the street talking to myself with my selfie stick. But that throughout the day has created content that I've now scheduled posts for the next 3 weeks. So I'm just taking pictures of stuff and just anything that I could relate to or talk about that would be towards my business, because now I'm traveling. So that's my content right now. It's look at what I'm doing and how I was able to do it, leveraging the internet. So I was just filming everything and taking tons of pictures. And then in my evenings, I'm reading up to 50 pages a day of something that I can apply to my business, whether it's working on ad copy, learning better marketing skills. I'm always reading something that's going to improve my mindset or bring some value towards my business so that I can keep on growing. The hard part is really staying accountable and understanding that your business doesn't run if you don't put in the time, right? You guys know that this is 100% on you. So having a group that you can reach out to is really helpful to keep you accountable. Like I have a couple groups I've been spending as much time with the Laptop Globetrotters as I can before I fly out to Asia. And for creating content throughout your day, it's like traveling to and from coffee shops, taking pictures of you guys sitting down with your friends that you're creating content with or mastering with. The places you had ventured or explored, maybe a quick write-up, search stuff, take notes often. Any idea that pops in your head, especially on the road, pretty easy to go, oh, that's a really good idea. Keep going, and then you get up back to wherever you're staying, your hotel or your Airbnb, and you don't have that idea in your head anymore. And you go, oh no, what was that? So taking notes on your phone, I use reminders. I just say, hey Google, remind me about this idea I had for something that I saw that I could relate and post a video about, right? What else we got here? Yeah, reading an audiobook for huge. And I'm also jumping into the same stuff Brandon was talking about is what are you eating throughout your day? How are you keeping yourself energized to be putting in the time that you want to put into your business? Because what you eat, yeah, you're probably what you eat, right? I used to be pretty bad with like pop and then processed sugars, processed foods, and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm working my way towards actually being completely vegan because I really don't like the stuff that I'm putting in my body. I've done my research, and I honestly feel way better when I'm honest about what I'm eating. That's helping, and getting enough sleep too. It's really easy to stay up late when you don't really have to get up the next morning, right? There's no day job you gotta go to. So I've definitely been a little lazier on that point myself. I was just, enjoying being able to sleep in. I used to have to be up at 5:30 every day a.m. to go to work. But I'm working on getting back to doing that because the earlier I'm up, the more work I can get done, the more I can spend throughout my day creating content, the more I can apply to it in my business. Other things to do in the evening, all the stuff that you created content for throughout your day, put it onto your computer. Use programs like Canva to create it and build it for your brand. I don't know if you guys have been following my page. I'm using like orange as my color, orange and black. So now I'm taking all the photos I filmed throughout the day or the videos and putting the same stuff over it, keep my branding, and just trying to stay on top of my stuff. The last thing you want to do is fall behind and have a mountain of stuff to do, because that's when you're going to be getting in your head, yourself anxiety, you're going to worry about the future. So it's staying focused, trying to stay organized. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes here again. Yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys today, man. It's just set yourself up a list, write a schedule, stick to it, stay accountable. You're the one running your business, and have lots of fun. It's amazing. I'm so pumped.
Rids, I love you, dude. I'm so proud of you. You are job quitter number 64 in the community. It's awesome to hear from you, dude. And check this out, guys. Building a business on the road can be challenging unless you have the guidelines. Riz just gave them to you. He dropped so much nuggets. It was gold soup coming out of his blue blockers. I seen it. So super excited for you, bro. So excited for you to have a chance to work with one of the masters, Brandon Liu, in the house. I just adore that little Chinaman. He's my guy. He's I probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, yes, guys, it is time to drop the poll. I hope you guys are ready to vote. We're gonna go right over. You guys enter your vote for who is your favorite tonight, and we're gonna go round robin really quick, starting with Miss Jenna, the genius of the week. Jenna, who did you vote for and why?
Hey, I just voted for you, Sean.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really helpful just to get some different ideas of framework, really. Just the more ideas, the better. Like I said, I think sometimes we get a little bit overwhelmed when you're like, okay, we need all these value videos and just keep sending them around, trying to keep track of them and whatnot. And I think this is kind of just a better shortened version of all of that. So super valuable. Thank you.
Yeah, let's go to Mr. Brandon Liu and Mr. Riz Revolution.
All right, so we voted for the same person, right? So our vote goes to John Malone. That was total fire that you were putting in there, man. I'm definitely going to be sharing my value videos that I'm currently building in that dose setup that you have, because that is really, really mad fire. So shout out Sean.
Didn't hear you. Can't hear you, homie.
Oh, definitely gonna rewatch the replay for your part, because I think you provided awesome show me videos, and we're at that part in their business right now where really, a lot of times we get stuck on what to say. Even a veteran gets stuck on what to say. So learn from.
Yeah, every day, every time, all the time. I was filming videos today. I got stuck. So yeah, absolutely. And Adonis called out our bromance, Lou. That's cool. I'm down with that. All right, let's go to Diana. Who'd you pick?
I went with the Lou Stew because I definitely think it's good to bring up, ways to avoid burnout and to not get there in the first place, ways to prevent it. So I think it's really super helpful and powerful, and more people need to keep that in mind before they just burn out and then they're useless, really. So that was my choice. How about we go to Aaron?
What's up, guys? This is so hard because now I need to go fix my Facebook profile, Facebook fan page picture, and put some cute colors around it because Jenna's just looked amazing. And I really love Sean's part too, where it made it simpler. I think I love the 3x3, but I think this simple approach is going to be so helpful with value videos and running the conversion ads and stuff like that. Riggs, obviously always love your stuff, but I had to go with Brandon because I've hit it so many times. When I had my biggest month, I hit burnout. Every single rank I've hit, I hit burnout. And it's because you get close, you know what I mean? I got close to 20K, I got close to 4A, 5A, 6A, and it's just all of a sudden the heat's turned up because you're just I'm so close, let me work harder. And then all of a sudden everything else goes out the window. You stop doing your morning routine, you're working harder, you hit the rank, and you're like, I just need to breathe, I need a break. And it's so up and down, you know what I mean? So I think all of those things are so important to consistently just do so that you don't burn out, and that was just huge for me. So I picked.
And what about the young lady next to you? Who'd she pick?
Yeah, who are you picking?
I picked Rids.
Rids.
He's got some fire. And I miss Jenna's
Really
so, and she's doing Instagram, so Jenna probably been runner-up if I've seen that.
She did Facebook fan page, but it was still killer.
That's
awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being there, guys. Love you guys.
Oh, you're muted.
Yep. Totally muted. You guys, love you guys. Thanks for being there. I appreciate you. Let's go to Will Page.
We're voting for you, Sean.
Yeah.
I totally was like, okay, let's go record an ad right now. We've been coming up with some headlines, and one of the headlines we came up with gave us 30% on all three, and that all came from your little segment. So thank you very much. Super awesome.
Whenever you say what you're going to say, you seem to just simplify it in a way that it clicks with me instantly, and I think it does with a lot of people. And I think you're right. Some people have become overwhelmed, and I think for you to simplify it like that has made it a lot clearer for people. So
yeah, it only takes up a quarter of my page, so that means that's awesome. It's not too hard.
Love that. Thank you guys for the vote and the love. And Mr. Chris, Mr. The Idea Guy, who did you vote for, man?
I'm getting stabbed underneath the table with a pen. This is the guilty. All right. Yeah, my vote definitely goes for Rids because I was unable to put him on the voting panel quick enough for tonight. So just know that you're not forgotten, but you're still getting votes because you're bringing fire. So yeah, that's right. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah, that's it. I actually am going to vote for Mr. Brandon Liu. I, too, have suffered from some incredible burnout. Luckily, I had some really great coaches that kind of coached me through it. And, now so I have like a little checks and balances of how I know when I'm getting there. And that's really something that's helped me a lot, too. So, but anyway, all right, Chris, let's end the poll. The panelist vote was for me. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. But those votes don't count. What really counts is who won. Jenna, the genius of the week, has brought it full circle. She wins. She gets the golden belt for the next week. She's now a certified master digital genius. Super excited for you, Jenna. Thank you so much. Your turn to end the show. Come out and say some good words, and we're going to kick this thing into high gear.
Holy moly, I am so grateful. Thank you for all your votes. Thank you for listening to me and what I have to bring to the table. So to end it tonight, I have one big secret formula. And it's kind of a lot to write down. I don't know if do you guys want to write it down? Do you want me to go slow? Go slow? Go slow?
Do it.
Okay, we'll go slow. All right, so here we go. To have a very powerful brand online, this is what you gotta do. Have a big vision. Big vision.
Big vision.
Plus brand yourself.
Big vision plus brand yourself.
Plus continually give value. And the last one, but not least, is plus teach what you learn.
Yeah.
If you do all four of those things, you will have a very powerful brand online.
Yeah, that's super fire. Thank you, Jenna. You are this week's Digital Golden Belt winner. Congratulations. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll be back here same time, same channel next Wednesday. We love you guys, and episode 134 is in the books. We'll talk to you guys next week. Be safe, have fun, and kick ass in your business.
Thank you.